Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Uncaged. One episode left till the season finale of Season 5. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me by my side, as always, is DC, Daniel Crimmins himself. Daniel, do we have a hell of a show for the people tonight?
Michael, yes, we do. It's one that we've talked about doing this one for, I think, way back in Season 1, we'd talked about this.
Yes, we
And
have.
of course, we have the best and the worst gimmick matches. We're talking steel cage. We're talking dog food matches. Yes, that did happen. We're even talking hog pen matches.
Oh, Lord. So I guess the best way for me to start is I have some lists, and I'm sure you have your list as well. So one of my favorite gimmick matches, and I'm going to put this into fruition, and I will start off with this just because it's one of my favorites, and I grouped them both together because they're both a necessity. My first best of is the ladder match / tables, ladders, and chairs match. For me, I go all the way back with the TLCs, which is 25 years old now, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge, and Christian. For ladder matches, of course, you got to mention one of the greatest ever, Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon from WrestleMania 10. I mean, they tried to amplify that with Shawn and Razor from SummerSlam 95, which wasn't bad, but the first one, you can't touch that.
No.
Triple H and The Rock from SummerSlam 98 at Madison Square Garden, I really enjoyed.
Mania 17.
Mania 17, the TLC 2. Jeff Hardy and The Undertaker, the Undisputed title match from July of 2002. That always ranks high for me.
Mike, you can't forget, you have that one, and it's probably one of the biggest WrestleMania moments, the spear off the ladder, which that could have gone south so quickly.
The way that Jeff got friggin' whiplashed off that spear, same with Edge, like he could have hurt his neck. Jeff could have been in two. Oh, it was dead. They timed that. They got very, very lucky. That was one of those moments where it's like you made a moment. You're very, very lucky, but for the love of God, don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Like I would equate that to Mick Foley versus Taker at Cell.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. You don't know what you're doing with ladder, and you're hanging up there. It reminded me of Devon in the first TLC where he's hanging, and then he just falls over and flies off the thing. And Devon has even said he didn't want to do that spot because he's afraid of heights. Like Jeff, if you ever love me, stop kicking me, as he put it.
So for me,
yes,
best, and it gets a lot of hate for multiple reasons because A, it was WCW, and B, the matches, a lot of the ones that they had in it were bad. The triple cage.
Oh, God. You know what? I love it just because of the silliness of Ready to Rumble and Jimmy King. That's why that pops me for the
I will rule you.
And then here comes Gordy. I will bust you. Like, that's funny. Like, people will crap on it, but it's funny. And the triple cage.
Can we get a sequel?
Can we? Yeah, can we? Like, really? Like, it was so good. Even though 25 years later, come on now, man. No, I agree. A lot of people thought it was silly. I remember Canyon. Remember Canyon took that huge bump. Oh my God. Poor God rest his soul, Canyon. Oh.
God, I will still say to this day, Canyon was so criminally underrated.
And I think the problem that hindered him, it wasn't really a problem, but I think a lot of people, when you make fun and go after someone's mental health for being homosexual, that also kind of hurt his career because that really got to him.
Oh, yeah. Like, the way they treated him, like, and then you got, gay wrestlers nowadays. Like, I feel like if he was around now, it wouldn't be as big of a thing. I mean, because you got Anthony Bowens, you got
Darren Young.
Yeah, thank you. I was just trying to blank on his name. Happens when you get older, Michael.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, Darren Young, Anthony Bowens, Sonny Kiss, like now,
exactly. Nyla Rose.
Yep. So yeah, like now, and that's funny because from where he was, that was what 2003, I think, when he came out, right? That was like early 2000.
Canyon.
Yeah, when he officially came out. But yeah, 22 years later, if he was still alive now, he came out, everybody's like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, if he was a wrestler now, like I just remember like Mortis. I just thought that gimmick was cool. So I mean, it was Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. But
did I ever tell you the story of when
Reptile? I'm sorry.
Did I ever tell you the story of how I actually saw Mortis live? So what happened was in WWE in 2003, nonetheless, they did a show at Madison Square Garden, and Canyon wrestled as Mortis in a dark match against Matt Hardy version 1, right? So there was talk back into the 2000s of Canyon coming back as the Mortis character on SmackDown.
I remember that. I remember those headlines.
Yeah.
He would have had to bring in James Mitchell.
Yes, but James Mitchell was in TNA at the time.
Wouldn't have worked then.
No, it would not have. But that's the thing too. Like, I'm right there with you. The triple cage, while a lot of people thought it was stupid, it added a different element to what the cage matches really were.
Exactly, because it had your cage match and also had components of the ladder match. And the look of it was cool. Like, the concept, you start in the ring, then you have to work your way up. And I always kept thinking, like, man, I would love to have that in a video game.
Concurred wholeheartedly. And the design and the vision of what we would see in like a video game, and if you added it to like a WCW mode in one of the games, would be ecstatic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Like, when you think worst, like, to me, this has to be high up there. The hog pen match, which I think there's only been 2. There was Triple H and Henry Godwinn, aka Hog. And I believe Vicky Guerrero versus Santina Marella. I think that was the other one.
I'll be honest, Santina and Vicky was way worse than Triple H and Henry Godwinn. So Santina was feuding with Vicky Guerrero, and of course Chavo Guerrero was in the corner of Vicky, and Chavo took the slop, so did Vicky. I mean, that was just silliness of doing Santino as the Santina character that worked after WrestleMania 25. For me, that was just whatever. The Triple H was bigger, and because of the story of, the click thing happened with the curtain call. And he had to be punished, so he loses the hog pen match. And I think the story goes like Owen Hart and the British Bulldog ribbed Vince and put all the pigs in his office.
Yeah, folks, the story goes, they brought the pigs in, and the handler's like, okay, it was the Hardys. They were on pig detail.
Yes.
And they're like, where do we what do we do with these? Where do we put them? And Bulldog and Owen were like, here. And then they took them, and it was Vince. And of course, Vince was Vince, because Vince is apparently he's a germaphobe.
Oh, God.
And and I think he initially thought it was Triple H.
Yeah, but then he was like, he found out it was Owen and Bulldog, and he's like, God damn it, they got me again, because he couldn't, because he knows, pal, because he knows they're pranksters, and they're known for this, so he kind of was just like laughing it off, like, yeah, Owen and Bulldog. But that's the thing, man, like, you have the hog pen match. Now, I have one that's on the worst one, and I'm just going to get this one out of the way, just because there's been multiple matches of these, and it's just, the visual is fine, but the match in itself is kind of stupid, and I'm going to go with the Punjabi prison match. Yeah. So the first ever one was at the Great American Bash 06. It was originally supposed to be the Great Khali and the Undertaker, and they built that up as like, I never heard of a Punjabi prison match, and JBL's like, I've heard of it. It's one of the most destructive things ever. And I'm like, goddamn well, you've never heard of no Punjabi, because there has never been a Punjabi prison match. No, and then Great Khali has the liver enzymes thing, and he can't wrestle, so they put the Big Show out there with the Undertaker, and it's horrible. They have to
no explanation,
except for Big Show was, him and Khali attacked the Undertaker, so it's like, Big Show, you go, and it was horrible. They had to go through the fucking things, and they moved the lever to escape the thing. It was convoluted. They did that one. They did Batista and Khali. They did fucking Jinder and Randy Orton, which the Great Khali came back and cost Randy Orton just because it's fucking the Punjabi prison and it's Khali.
Yeah, because Khali back in the day used to be a cop.
Yeah, and dude, that match was so bad. I remember watching that as a 14-year-old kid, the first one with Taker and the Big Show, and I'm like, it looks cool. The structure looks cool, but first of all, nobody can hardly see in it because it's like a structure of bamboo, and then there's like a cage in it, and then you have to climb up over the bamboo, and I'm like, it's too fluffled. It's too convoluted.
So the inner structure was essentially the old school blue cage.
Yeah, I can see that.
That they painted to look like bamboo. And I think it was Taker on one of his podcasts talked about it, and he said that like he's like, I get to the arena that day, I see it, and he's like, I knew instantly what that thing was. And he said, the fans want that cage back. And he said, but let me tell you, boys in the back, no, we do not want it back. Because it literally is. It's solid steel.
And it hurts. They like the other cage better than the original blue cage. And it hurts more. And you don't want to get hurt more.
And it was cool concept, but oddly enough, there is an Easter egg in WWE 2K25.
Okay.
You can have a brawl in the WWE warehouse, and up against one of the walls behind some secured area is the Punjabi prison, like the pieces of it.
That's cool. Just because it has such a significant history, I doubt that it wouldn't be there. I mean, again, folks, if you've never seen it, I'll say this. I thought at the time as a kid it was cool, but then once they executed it, I'm like, this is the drizzling shits. I never want to see this again. But we had it 2 more times, and we got what we got. So, yeah, that's one of my worst.
If I'm not mistaken, the one with Batista and Kali, didn't the cage break?
Yes.
I think with Batista, like, he got thrown into it and it broke open.
Yes, it broke open, and then he just like climbed out, and that was it. It was.
I'm surprised Vince didn't run down there and tear another quad.
Oh, like he did with him and Cena in the Royal Rumble 05. My God. God damn it! It didn't go as planned. God damn it!
Which, as an aside, I'm trying to remember what the original finish, because if I'm not mistaken, Batista was never supposed to go over. Like, wasn't he basically supposed to fall away slam Cena?
So Batista was originally supposed to win or something, but Cena was not supposed to. He was not supposed to go over the way he did, or both of them did, and it was
because Batista fell back, and
Batista fell back, and he was supposed to not fall back, and then they both fell back, and then Vince is like, "Shit, we can't have co-winners," and then they just went back in, and Batista tossed John out, and that was it.
And the luck that they both landed at the same time. Like, you talk about turning chicken shit into chicken salad. Like,
yep, they made it work because they both were like, "Oh shit, this wasn't supposed to happen." And then Vince came out and did the power strut and tour squads. Yes,
like you could see. Like, I saw a video on YouTube a while back of a lip reader, and we're actually telling people what he said, and it's just like, ooh. Like George Carlin's 7 Dirty Words.
Yep. Ooh, I know. George Carlin 7 Dirty Words. So I do have one before you get into yours. As far as
worst.
Yes, your next worst. I do have one that's the next worst, so I'll do my 2. I did the greatest of the ladder and TLC. And I just did the Punjabi. My other one, just because they announced it, and I have no problem with intergender wrestling, but I'm just going to say this just because of the storyline that was involved. Eric Bischoff's Battle of the Sexes. So for those, you remember Eric Bischoff's Battle of the Sexes? So Chris Jericho and Christian were feuding with Trish and Lita. And the storyline was that Christian bet $1 Canadian that he could score with Lita before Chris could score with Trish. And then they both give him flowers, but Trish overheard them talking about this bet, and Trish and Lita threw the flowers at them. And then at Armageddon 03, it turned into Chris Jericho and Christian against Trish and Lita, with Jericho and Christian winning by Christian rolling up Trish and then celebrating, like so happy. And then Jericho was like, I didn't want to do that because he's starting to have feelings for Trish. And then they did the rematch on Raw, which they won again, but still, it was just like the whole storyline of just having 2 women against 2 guys. And again, nothing against intergender wrestling, but this whole storyline was stupid just because they bet of who could screw who first. So that would be a worse for me. If that,
no, I guarantee it was a Vince storyline.
Well, that was definitely Vince's like, God damn it, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have
good shit.
It's such good shit. We're going to have Chris fall for Trish. We're going to have Christian fall for Alita. Who can screw the one first?
So my next one, which, we're going to go more current. We're going to do AEW.
Okay.
The Mimosa Mayhem match.
I mean, I get Chris Jericho's thought process behind it, but the execution of the match was dog shit. It was
Chris, no.
no. They tried. I understood where he was going, and I know Chris took the mimosa, but that was Chris Jericho's creative of like, hey, orange juice, Orange Cassidy, orange drink, mimosa. Hey, I'm gonna go into the vat of mimosa, and then to Chris, it's like, no, this is terrible, and it stunk. Like the Chris Jericho Orange Cassidy feud, I enjoyed, but this match,
Yeah.
not
Like
so.
the debate that, you know, the
That
two
was
of them
hilarious.
was probably one of my favorite segments in AEW history. Not matches, but just segments. It was just so well produced.
Yeah, he just talks about fossil fuels and then thank you. And then everybody's looking at him like, where the fuck
Like,
did that come from?
you know where I guarantee they got that from Old School.
I could definitely see that.
The
Yes.
scene where Will Ferrell just, you know,
like goes like he think he's dumb as shit, but he's actually really smart. Yes.
and guys like, yeah, that's it.
It reminds me of when they flipped the switch in WWE. Remember Maria, of course, being the ditzy dumb interviewer, but when she goes on the trial of Eric Bischoff, she talks like really smart. That's what it reminded me of.
Because, and honestly, she is.
She's a very smart lady. Like, yeah. That was so cool. But this one of just him, the fossil fuels, and just talking about, hey, Chris, shut up. And he cuts this great promo. That was great. Like when he got.
I have a next one. Because I got a twofer.
Okay.
Because it was a tie, and it's pole matches. Anything on a pole.
All right. So I'll add on to you. So the pole matches. Pink slip on a pole match with The Rock and Mankind from Raw. That one's
Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Judy Bagwell on a pole. Viagra on a pole. Pinata on a pole. Like anything on a pole, yes.
Like, just make it a ladder match.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. They thought this was funny because they had to climb the pole. I mean, could you also? I'm not going to put a flag match in there because I understood the concept. That wasn't a terrible match for me, the capture the flag type of vibe. But the pole matches absolutely were terrible. The worst one for me was WCW, Billy Kidman and Shane Douglas. That one,
Judy Bagwell on a pole. Like, to me, that was still like
that and Judy Bagwell on the forklift. Yeah. It was horrible. Like, they thought this was funny. This was juvenile humor, and Vince Russo thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, no, Vince, it's not. I mean, he thought it was hilarious. I'm like, no, this is fucking dumb. I mean, I'll add on to that. So, bro, here's what we're gonna do. Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned him because Bro is actually on my list for one of the ones, and I'm gonna go over to the TNA realm. Y'all ready for this one? Sting and Abyss, Last Rites, the Last Rites match, which was like their version of a casket match. So it was like a hardcore match, and then loser has to put him in the casket, and then they get risen up. Last Rites, boom. But you pin in this one. I don't think you like friggin' shut it. You pin them, you shut it, whatever. It was very convoluted. This was the infamous Fire Russo chance, and it was Sting and Abyss, who I love both of them to death, but they couldn't escape this monstrosity that was this match.
Wasn't this where Abyss lost the NWA title back to Sting?
This was like a year after that.
Okay.
And this is when Sting was trying to get Chris to open up because this was the time period where James Mitchell turned on. It was like him and Abyss were having like their thing, and then Abyss, like James Mitchell brings out Abyss's mom, and it turns out Abyss's mom was the one who shot his dad, and Abyss took the rap for it. That's what made him go nuts. And it was a whole thing. And then Sting and Abyss were just fighting, and then this is where they eventually got to Abyss speaking. So yeah, this was still like the time of like Sting and Abyss still feuding, and then Abyss going towards the babyface route.
And then we got Judas Messias, aka Ricky Banderas, who's now in AAA.
Yes, which Mil Muertes, Lucha Underground. If there's any cameo I'd love to see on this AAA WWE thing, I'd love to see Ricky Banderas because I like Ricky.
Oh yeah,
very underrated.
Oh yeah, like dude, he was great Wrestling Society X.
Dude, him and friggin' X-Pac, holy shit. Him and Vampiro, my God.
And dude, Judas Messias was a fucking cool gimmick.
Yeah, he was like the evil brother of Abyss, which was great.
A lot better than Black Rain.
Oh, God. Dustin Rhodes will never, ever talk about Black Rain. Ever.
I think he would much rather be Seven again.
Fear.
My name's Seven, by the way.
That was such a great promo. They want me to play Halloween all year, and I look like Uncle Fester. Oh, by the way, my name is Seven. Like, that was just the way he said it all together was just so funny. All right, you're gonna make me do it on another worst here. Since you mentioned Black Rain and Misty and his the freaking mouse, so Abyss and Black Rain had the infamous Shop of Horrors match in TNA. That was bad, which was just like Monsters Ball any hardcore match, and it led to the debut of Relic, which is killer spelled backwards, which was Johnny the Full Stampoli, and it was horrible. Yeah, I'll go the Shop of Horrors for mine with Abyss and Black Rain. And I'll say for my best before you go to your next best, man, just because I love these matches, and one of my favorite matches is this one, the street fight matches. Like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, the street fight, the non-sanctioned from SummerSlam '02, for being there live is one of my favorite matches. Triple H and Cactus from Royal Rumble 2000. Like any street fight, I love the street fight matches.
The only caveat to them
Yes.
is like when whatever city they're in,
Yeah.
like a Boston street fight, like just call it a fucking street fight.
You know what it reminds me? It was Christmas, and they had Randy Orton and David Otunga in the Miracle on 34th Street fight. Like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to.
And like they had packages wrapped around the ring, and like there were weapons inside.
Like, okay, here's a package with a pipe in it. Here's a package with a Singapore cane in it. Like, you don't need to do that. You
No.
don't. You really don't.
Not at all. No. Next one, and to me, I love the concept of it. Buried Alive.
I think the inaugural ones with like Mankind and The Undertaker and Stone Cold from Rock Bottom 98, Undertaker and Vince McMahon from Survivor Series 03, The Undertaker and Kane from Bragging Rights 2010.
And let's not forget I believe it was Rock and Mankind versus Big Show and Undertaker at SmackDown. Only reason I say that, just because you have Big Show and Mankind on the stage, and Big Show just yeets Foley off the stage and he bounces at the grave into the pit.
That's why I'm laughing, because
it's what, like 15 feet?
That's why I'm laughing. As soon as you said that, all I thought was doink, like doink.
Like Vince always said how much he loved and appreciated Mick Foley. Like, how many damn times did you try to kill him?
Yeah, that's the thing. So the first ever tag team Buried Alive with the Rock and Man.
The only one, I think.
The only one, yeah, and against Taker and the Big Show, and Big Show yeeted him. That was one of the ones for me, which I thought was such a cool visual, but damn it, Mick, you don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that, Mick. Like, you really don't. No. But yeah, no, I've always enjoyed the concept too, because of the mystique, and also that's the Undertaker's match.
The finality of it.
And the finale of it, yeah. I mean, everything that they encompass with the Buried Alive and everything that they wanted to do with that, I concur wholeheartedly.
And I would even tie that in with the Boneyard match, which I believe there was an interview with Taker, and they asked him about it. They said, had it, been there, like, what was the plan? And he said it was going to be like a Buried Alive.
You see, before even COVID happened and they announced it, you and I both looked at each other like, what the hell is a Boneyard match? And I'm like, is that like the PG version of Buried Alive? And the reason I said that to you is because I still remember Bray and Kane in the Ring of Fire, which is like the Inferno match, but you don't friggin' light your opponent on fire. It was just fire around the ring. So I was thinking they were going another PG version of it, but I thought it would have been cool. But I think with the way things turned out and how the world was around that time, I think what they did was justified.
Best thing that they could have done.
Agreed. And with everything that went on, like the Undertaker's brother passing away, and just everything that time was just, they made the most of it, man.
And also, if you think about it, like a lot of Undertaker's matches before he retired were not great. And he will admit to that.
I think the only one that I thought was okay was him and Roman against Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon. That was passable.
Yeah. And a lot of that was Roman.
It was Roman and Drew who made him look good.
And Taker's even said that, like, because he tells the interview, like, he talked about the Boneyard. He said there was a point where they were taking like a break from filming, and he said like he kneeled down like to tie his shoe or something, or his boot, And he said, "I knew." That's when I knew. He's like, "Yeah, I'm done. This is it. I'm done. I can't."
And I think that was the smartest thing that he's ever had. You could say your
Oh,
last match was a cinematic match, but it's still something that people talk about. And I think the one that other people talk about, and I'll follow up with one of the best matches, and then you can go to your next one, Dan. But I think we'll tie it in since you mentioned the Boneyard. Also on that WrestleMania, it gave us the infamous Firefly Funhouse match with Bray Wyatt and John Cena. If that would have been executed with people, I think it would have been cool, depending on what we would have gotten. I'm sure it would have been like a hardcore match or
yeah.
something
I
of the
think
sorts.
there was an. I saw a video, or maybe it was a TikTok or something, and somebody asked Cena about. They're like, "What was it originally pitched to you as?" He said, the last TV before they shut down. And he said, they approached Bray and I and said, "You're going to have a Firefly Funhouse match." And he's like, and I said, "Cool. Great. What is that?"
Oh,
Like,
we
they had
don't.
no idea. And they were told, they're like, "Yeah, we don't know."
And he goes, great. And then he friggin' wrote down what it was. That's, I think he even said, that's the first time I wrote down a match and what I had planned for it, which I thought was great because the two of them who've wrestled each other
Made
before,
magic.
yes, they made magic. They wrestled each other before. They know each other like the back of their hand. And if you're going to do a mindfuck acid trip of John Cena's career and what could have been if he would have went this direction, they mastered it beautifully. And he wrote, Bray Wyatt got to rewrite his history. So it was a win-win for both of them.
Oh, absolutely. Like, honestly, it was one of those things where you have to watch it multiple times. There's so many subtle nuances of that match. And had Wyndham not passed away,
Mhm.
I don't think you have a Cena final run without Bray.
I agree, and I mean, I'm sad that we never got an Uncle Howdy interaction because of John Cena's history with Bray Wyatt. I mean, and I hate to even say it like
Still
this.
good.
You still could, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it like this, and I'm not gonna. I'm all right. We'll get to like Hell in the Cells and all that in a second here, but I want to put this into fruition. In a way, can you kind of say one of the worst stipulations? And I hate to say this about Bray Wyatt because I love him, but the LA Knight match, the Mountain Dew pitch black match, do you kind of consider that on one of the worst stipulations?
Absolutely. Like,
And I don't mean to be like that, but it was pretty bad.
now, what was cool was what they did with him.
Yes.
Like, that was cool. Like, that was fun. Like, to see, the body paint and to see everything. And that was also his first pay-per-view back.
Yes, and that was LA Knight's first ever pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was the thing, like the promos that those two cut, and I remember everybody saying, oh, they're going to have Bray Wyatt come back and be with LA Knight. It worked. LA Knight dressed like the cult leader Bray, and they were funny. And then they introduced Uncle Howdy. They had a lot of elements there, but when the match came, his visual was cool, but the time they got, it was like whatever. And then they had friggin' Uncle Howdy and all of them go into the fire, and you see the puppets come to life. And I'm like, it's cool. But everybody there was like, what?
Now, fun fact.
Yes.
When Bray came back at Extreme Rules 2022, right?
Yes. 2022.
You know who Mercy the Buzzard was?
Who was it?
Grayson Waller.
Oh, God. That's right.
I don't think they had it mapped out, who was going to be in, what. They needed people, to do it. And I guess, they asked, Grayson Waller, they're like, hey, can you be at wherever? I think it was in St. Louis.
Yes.
And that was him. And they're like, literally, all you do, put the mask on, stand there. And the Fiend was played by the guy that actually did the mask.
That's cool. Yes.
Who also is now making Asuka's masks.
Which is even cooler, but yeah. Oh, no, that wasn't St. Louis. That was in Jersey when that happened. That was the Extreme.
Joycey.
Jay-Z.
Which actually, that makes perfect sense.
You can tell that's the New Yorker's response.
It does. You just say Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, with that being one of your worst,
okay,
Mike, I can top that.
All right, hit me.
Extreme Rules, eye for an eye match.
Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio from 2020, early COVID. They went after his eye, and mind you, I love Seth Rollins and I love Rey Mysterio. They have great chemistry on it. They had some really good
Absolutely.
matches. But that feud during that time was never fucking ending. It literally was not. Like, they feuded for like how many months? Like 5 fucking months of just like the Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah thing, which was still kind of.
And they never
And they never addressed it. They never resolved it. It was just like, we don't want you friggin' with Buddy. And then they like liked him, and then nothing ever happened. They just took
they
Aaliyah.
never saw anything in Buddy. Like, and it's fucking sad. Like,
well, did you see what they're doing at AEW now? They silently disbanded the fucking Hounds.
well, he's hurt.
I know that, but not even that. Like, fucking Brody King is now with Brody King is with Bandito. So it's like Brodito is their new tag name. And then you have the Triangle of your reaction. You have the Triangle of Madness, which is Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Thekla. Because
Actually, that one's kind of cool.
That's cool, but it came out of nowhere because they helped Thekla in those friggin' money matches that Tony has a fucking boner for, and they are now a trio, which I'm like, that's cool. I'm curious to see where it goes.
Women's trios titles incoming.
Incoming. Did you see what the motherfucker said? And I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but let's go here.
I'll pay you.
I'll pay you. I love you. So he was talking about women's tag titles, and he's like, well, we had a lot of injuries. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, you got injuries. Because most of these fucking girls are hurt doing stupid shit, and you want to do tag titles when you got no fucking women.
Well, to be fair, WWE's women's tag titles are just like, yeah.
I know. That is very fair, too.
Which, let's just be real here. This shit with Liv and Roxanne, it's literally Liv and Rhea all over again. It's the same thing.
But with Liv as the babyface.
Yeah. Because they know that when Liv comes back, no one's going to boo her.
No, like, you're not going to boo Liv Morgan. Like, that's the thing. But it's cool with the role reversal. But yeah, I had to put that in there because it's just like, yeah, Brodito. Your reaction to Brodito, Brody King, and Bandito. Brodito.
No.
Yeah.
It's just no.
No. But yeah, I have to go with that just because. Oh yeah, you're right on there with the eye for an eye. But yeah, so Ray and Seth have this feud. Like, Ray wins, Seth wins, and then Seth just goes at his eye. Friggin' and it's just the cartoony eye popping out the head. And it was ugly.
And like, you didn't even really see it, like, because he does it. The rap, the cuts away, the rap rings a bell, and you see Ray, holding his eye. Seth just and basically like threw nothing. Which at that time, shit was taped.
Yeah,
like, you couldn't have like said like, "Hey, here, put this in your mouth," and then just open your mouth and just let it.
No,
easily doable.
But yeah, that's why I even say, folks, COVID era of WWE, they had some challenges, but there was a lot of bad stuff during the COVID era, and this was one of them. This was one of them. So I got
another bad one.
All right, you go with your bad one, then I'll go with mine. Good.
I'm going back to AEW.
Oh boy.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Death Match.
Was that the one with Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett?
Yep, and somebody is Leatherface, which I don't know if they ever. I heard it was Joey Janela. I even heard it was Tony Khan.
Oh God.
Which, if you've seen the movies, like, Leatherface has always been a big guy.
Yes, he has.
He's never been like skinny.
No.
Even the weird one when, with McConaughey and Zellweger, when Leatherface was a cross-dresser.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, that movie actually exists. It's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
The Next Generation? Is that like how bad Halloween Resurrection was?
10 times worse.
10 times. Oh God. Oh Lord.
To give you an idea, Mike.
Okay.
It was made in like 93 or 94. Didn't come out till like 96.
Yes.
Like, they made it before Zellweger and McConaughey hit it big.
Okay.
I think McConaughey was Dazed and Confused. Was that his? Was that him?
He had Dazed and Confused around that time. Yeah.
And it was like, it came out like that hit, and the two of them were stars. And then the studio that owned Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, they see them, they're like, wait a minute, we got this movie in the can that has these two in it. Like, let's put it out.
And they put it out.
And their agents were trying to block it, saying no.
No, and I believe I know what you're referring to, but yeah, that was the shits. That was
fucking terrible.
There was a lot of those bad movies, man. And I'll be honest with you, like people say what they will about I Know What You. Yeah, I know people say what they will about I Know What You Did Last Summer back in the 90s, but I got to tell you, I really want to see the new one. I do.
Now, is it a straight remake or is it a prequel? Or
it's like a remake, but like the only two like original characters in it are Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze. So it's kind of like a remake mixed with like elements of the first one.
It's a requel.
Perfect. Requel.
Kind of like what the most recent Halloween trilogy, what the first one in that trilogy was. It was like a remake, but it was a sequel. Or
well, look at the Karate Kid now. The Karate Kid Origins. It's like Jackie Chan.
Good things.
Yeah. I mean, you have Jackie Chan and friggin' Ralph Macchio in it, which is cool. That's a nice little element. I mean, they're doing the Final Destination Origins, but I'm like, I love the Final Destination movies, but it's like, I already know the premise. Like, I already know the premise. Like, we've done this 6 times already. But okay. So my other one I have to go to, pop culture aside, and I love you for that reference. I got to go take it back to also during the COVID era. Backlash 2021, and I think you know where I'm going with this, Daniel Crimmins. Damian Priest and The Miz in the Zombie Lumberjack match.
I had blocked that out of my memory.
Yeah. So for those that don't know,
they were promoting another fucking movie.
Yes, Army of the Dead came out, which starred Batista. So they had Damian Priest and The Miz fight in a zombie lumberjack match with the ring surrounded by zombies. And they devoured John Morrison and The Miz. And that was the end of Miz for a little bit because he legit got hurt in that match. The only time he really got hurt, and that was the start of Miz in the wheelchair for a little bit, and then the John Morrison face turn. But yeah, Damian Priest and The Miz and the Zombie Lumberjack match to promote the movie was probably one of the worst fucking matches ever during the COVID era.
I see that, and I raise you.
Yep.
Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. I believe it was Revolution.
Yeah.
The barbed wire exploding ring match.
So Tony has a boner for FMW and the Japanese death matches and Onita, and so does Jon Moxley. So they did this, and then Eddie Kingston was supposed to come out and help him because it's like, John, you got to get out of here and everything that happened there. And the match was fine. It was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but the finish is what killed it because Eddie Kingston is hovering over Jon Moxley trying to protect him, and then poof, like not even like just poof. Like, what the fuck was that explosion?
And I guess the company that did it had never done it before.
Right.
And they had assured AEW that they could do it. And I will tell you, I'd seen an interview with Atsushi Onita. Mm-hmm. Oh, it tore to shreds.
I don't blame him.
He was supposed to help. Like, he was supposed to fly into the U.S., but if I'm not mistaken, I think either there's like a health thing or he couldn't get like his visa in order.
I think he was also supposed to do something with Combat Zone Wrestling at the time, but then I think Matt Tremont, who was supposed to wrestle, was also had health issues, and they had to like redo like a bunch of things because both of those guys had health issues.
And like it was supposed to be a thing. Like I think he was supposed to help them plan it.
And if Tony could, out of that time, we would have gotten Jon Moxley versus Onita.
Oh, I just thinking about that match, like that hypothetical match.
Yeah, I'm telling you because we know how Tony is, and I'm going to say this right now, and I won't be shocked if FTR wind up beating the Hurt Business because of MJF for the tag titles, and I believe All Out is in Toronto. He's going to make Edge and Christian the AEW Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And everybody's like, well, what about first of all, the Hardy Boys still can go. The Dudleys, they're not going to half-ass that match at Bound for Glory. That's going to be really good. But the problem is with Edge and Christian, it's just like over their stuff in AEW, it's just like, all right, we're over the fucking patriarchy stuff. They did the concerto this week on AEW. But it's just like Edge's run in AEW has kind of been very abysmal.
It has. Like, because he's having to be there more consistently, and he's in his 50s. Like, what exactly do you want?
And WWE was going to make him the special attraction, which would have been awesome, but he didn't want it. He didn't want it. And I'm like, all right. And I mean, I'll go to your other point. I'll go with you with your electrified barbed wire friggin' explosion match. And I will go with you on this one since I mentioned electrified. We'll go back to the TNA route. Team 3D, since I mentioned them as well, Bubba and Devon, against LAX from Lockdown and the exploding cage match, which where they won the TNA tag titles from LAX. That match was god awful. That match was god awful. Just because they're thinking like Lockdown and every match is a cage, right?
Yeah.
So they did the exploding cage, and every time they go into it, they would just homicide going, ah! And I'm just like, whatever. Like, whatever. I understood the process, but no. But no.
Well, it's like when WWE introduced the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I thought, okay, cool. Every match is going to be Hell in a Cell.
No, just the main matches.
Oh, they got rid of that pay-per-view, which was a smart move.
I was at the one and only Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view in 2010 at the Nassau Coliseum. Do you remember how that pay-per-view even came into fruition?
No.
So, do you remember the pay-per-view?
No.
Okay, so Long Island, New York hosted the first and only Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. So they did a survey online. What type of matches would the WWE fans like to see, like to become a pay-per or whatever? And they all voted on the Fatal 4-Way. And then that came into fruition. So the top matches were Fatal 4-Way matches, the world title match and the WWE title match. And this was around the time of the Nexus getting involved and stuff. So they had the top matches be Fatal 4-Way matches. And that's why it was called WWE Fatal 4-Way. You could thank the fans for that. Then the survey. And it sucked. And that whole pay-per-view was fucking terrible. And I'll raise you as well on your friggin' electrified cage and the exploding barbed wire, just because this one was funny, but it was god awful. The hardcore evening gown match from King of the Ring 2000, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe.
Oh God.
Yep. Yep. Voted one of the worst matches of 2000.
So I got one, and it's honestly, I enjoyed it. The Lion's Den match. I mean, it's kind of a cage match, but it's kind of a submission match.
Is that the one with Blackman and Owen? Shamrock? Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's a good choice. I mean, it's cool because of the MMA vibes, and it works because
kind of like the fight pit,
like Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher did. Yeah.
And then we got Riddle versus Rollins.
That too. That was and Daniel Cormier.
I loved that feud. Like that whole where's your family? Oh, that's right, you ain't got one because they don't want to see your bitch ass anymore.
I'll fuck you up, bro. Where the fuck are like the fact that they even did that? Everybody's like, whoa. And mind you, this was the start of Triple H booking, like around this time, because you never would have seen this with Vince McMahon.
No, oh no.
No, like he can't say the F word on TV. What are we doing here? But no, I love that you brought that up too. I think for me, another one that I really enjoyed, and just because he's one of our favorites, this is the match that made Abyss famous, the Monsters Ball match in TNA.
Oh, I love it.
I think the last two that he did with Congo Kong and Grado, those weren't my favorites because Abyss was hurt, and he obviously gotten older, the nagging injuries. I mean, they tried, but the earlier ones with Sabu and Jeff Hardy and Rhino, the earlier ones just with Judas Macias even as well, like those prime Abyss matches in the Monsters Ball. I mean, dare I even say, like, we can even go back to a time where we had Abyss just doing any hardcore match, but the Monsters Ball was the fucking antithesis of the
barbed wire massacre.
The barbed wire massacre with Sabu and Judas Macias, yes.
And, how about Jelly Roll doing the Black Hole Slam?
Yes, I thought that was
them actually calling it
the Black Hole Slam. I thought that was so cool. I mean, you have someone like Jelly Roll who's taking it seriously, and then you got bitch-ass Travis Scott, who, thank God, is not going to be around anymore.
Who didn't get his way, so he whined and complained like a little bitch.
Like a little biatch. And, John Cena gave off the line of the night tonight. I did see this. So John Cena's back to being a babyface, ladies and gentlemen. The old John Cena is back. And he said, I'm going to be the only platinum rapper that's going to beat you at at SummerSlam because Travis Scott with the whole thing with Cody when he turned heel. So John Cena took a shot at Travis Scott.
As good as that sounds, you're not going to top Drew McIntyre.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Like, let the man cook.
Exactly. Like, and even Drew McIntyre has been in some of the greatest matches. And all right, we'll both discuss this because it's one of our favorites. Hell in a Cell.
Absolutely.
Mankind, The Undertaker. God, my good God Almighty, they killed him. Undertaker.
Two.
Yeah, Undertaker and Shawn, and Undertaker and Mick Foley. Yep.
Like, I remember because I actually rewatched Undertaker versus HBK. Like, they're on the top of the cell, they're body slamming, back body drop. There's no give. And you're just like, oh, And that's why Taker and, Foley thought won't be a problem.
No, it was a problem. It was a problem.
Well, because if you watch it back, because when I saw Foley's stand-up show, he actually mentioned this. That, like, you could see, like, the little zip ties kind of going ping.
Yep.
I saw a zoomed-in shot, and you see it. Like, you see right towards it, like, the first time, you just see the zip tie going pew, pew. And Foley even said when I saw him, he's like, that's when I knew this is going to be bad. We didn't know how bad it was going to be, but
I think what killed Mick, literally and figuratively speaking, was the choke slam through the cell and the chair hits him in the face. That is what did it.
Oh, yeah. Well, because if you think about it, going off the cage, you had, I mean, it's not any padding, but.
Yeah, you had the announce table, but.
To break a fall.
This was just Mick goes down through the mat and the chair literally hits him in the face and knocks his teeth out. And I mean, that match, and I'll say this too. I love a lot of Hell in a Cell matches. Chris Jericho, if you remember the one with him and Triple H from Judgment Day, did you hear the story he told about that?
No.
So he was like, I was so scared when the finish, because if you remember, they're on top of the cage, and the finishes, he pedigrees him for the 1, 2, 3 on the top of the cage. And he was like, I was so scared to take that pedigree because he had flashbacks to Taker and Mick. And he was like, if we pedigree and I go through this cell and I land on that mat face first, I'm dead. Like, I'm dead. He was so scared to take the pedigree on the cell.
And it worked.
It did. It worked perfectly. Like Triple H, any match that he was in, like Taker, the HBK match from Bad Blood 04, the Kevin Nash match with Mick as the ref.
Oh, we don't count that one.
No, we don't count that one. We don't count that and Undertaker and Big Boss Man from WrestleMania 15. We don't count those.
For different reasons. And just watching that, like, there's the other one we don't talk about is The Fiend versus Seth Rollins.
Just because of the finish.
And it ends in a fucking disqualification. No.
No, that match was... The match wasn't... All right, here's the thing. The match I understood from the red light and the Fiend character and the gimmick. But it's like, you mean to fucking tell me that we can use all these weapons like chairs and tables and whatnot because you're trying to keep the Fiend down, right? He's an indestructible monster. And then Seth grabs this friggin' like gallet that the Fiend has, like in the Firefly Funhouse. And then the rest like, you're going too far, DQ. What?
Because they didn't want to take the title off of Rollins, but the crowd reaction I remember was bad.
Bullshit. They chanted AEW, like they were pissed. I was pissed. I was like, if you had any opportune time, the Fiend character was white hot. You could have put the belt on him there. I know they put it on him in Saudi, but like you could have put it on
3 weeks later.
Like 3 weeks later. But still, that led to the Messiah Seth Rollins character coming to fruition. But yeah, that's the only Hell in a Cell match that we don't talk about. And I'll even ask you this because we both get.
There was another one.
Go ahead.
That's one of the lesser known ones. Mankind versus Kane on Monday Night Raw.
Yes, that one on Hell in a Cell. What was
also ended in a disqualification.
That's right. That's right. But we didn't complain about it too much because it was
nobody saw it.
Nobody cared. Yeah. Also, what about Mankind and Stone Cold against No, Stone Cold and Undertaker against Mankind and Kane, the tag versus ever tag team one. That was cool. Oh, do I dare even mention the New Day and the Usos, one of the greatest tag team Hell in a Cell matches ever. And the only other thing I'll ask you about it, man, because we're given a lot of great Hell in a Cell things. Only one I'm going to ask, because I group steel cage matches as well as Hell in a Cells because they're pretty much the same but amplified. We mentioned the Lockdown pay-per-views and we mentioned the Hell in a Cell pay-per-views. Do you think they got tedious after a while? I think they did.
Yeah.
Because with the TNA one, and I'll even put this as one of my worst, and you can concur with me, a lot of the matches that they did, like the stipulation matches, didn't need to be in a cage. For example, James Storm and Chris Harris in the blindfold match from Lockdown 07, which James Storm has even mentioned that he hated it, and it was so bad that he called the match with Chris, like, Chris, we're going to go home because this match is fucking terrible, and this just made no sense. And they couldn't see, they could hardly see. And I mean, the blindfold match in itself, but yeah, that kind of sticks out to me just because of that. Do you concur? Blindfold is one of the lesser ones.
Oh yeah, a blindfold match is dumb. Like,
I mean, they did one with Triple H and D'Lo Brown on that Raw Roulette.
They also did Jake the Snake
Roberts
versus Rick Martel.
That one was terrible.
But another cage match, a bad cage match.
Yeah.
Let's see what this would have been. No Way Out, 2004.
Oh, is it the one I think you're going? It's just the one I think I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Big Show versus John Bradshaw Layfield, the barbed wire steel cage.
No Way Out, 2005. He brought it up. Big Show choke slams this man through the fucking ring, and Big Show is like going through the door, and he goes through the door, and you're thinking, oh, Big Show won the title. But then you hear Tony Chimmel go, your winner and still the champion, John Bradshaw Layfield. He literally went under the ring.
Because he'd gotten choke slammed through the mat.
Yes.
And you see Big Show, he hadn't even, stepped on the ground.
Yep.
Like, you hear the bell ring.
Yep.
And like, what does this say that 20 years later and I'm still pissed about that finish?
Oh, that finish was terrible. And I mean, they didn't want to get on the barbed wire side. The barbed wire was to keep them in with the cage and whatnot. It was a concept, but it was the execution of it sucked.
Oh, absolutely. Like, so the whole concept, keep everybody out.
Yes.
Okay, cool. But yet the cage door is only padlocked.
I don't get it.
Weld the door shut.
I have to put this one over as well as one of my worst because it sticks out to me. And I mentioned James Storm as well with that blindfold match. We're going back to TNA. The reverse battle royal. Bro, here's what we're gonna do. So they're fighting outside the ring, and then they're fighting to get in the ring, and then you have to eliminate them like a battle royal. So it starts off as a reverse battle royal, then an actual battle royal, and then the final two men in the ring have a one-on-one match, and then the winner of the one-on-one match is the winner. So it's a reverse battle royal, then a battle royal, then the last two from the battle royal are fighting in a one-on-one match. It was terrible.
We've done a lot of bad ones, so
okay,
we need to break this up and have a good one.
All right,
and I got one.
Hit me.
And it's a classic dog collar matches.
Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine.
Brody and Cody.
That one still sticks out to me. That was one of Brody Lee's best matches ever.
And his last one, I think.
His last one, but one of his best matches ever. And Cody came back with the black hair.
And the match is always been violent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just to me, like, Brody Lee versus Cody was just one of the best matches that AEW has ever done.
I agree because the story made sense and it went back to the 80s. I mean, you could even put Punk and MJF in there as well, of course.
When Punk came out in white shorts, left and red.
Yep, looking like Ring of Honor 03 Punk. Yes, still one of my favorite matches of his AEW tenure, which we'll do the cheap plug number one here. If you want to see Dan, Paul, and I talk about CM Punk's run in AEW on our last show. That will be in the description. Link down below. Cheap Pop #1.
And we'll pay you.
I'll pay you. The other,
but we won't pay Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg. The only one that I have to say that really gets me from one of my absolute favorites. We mentioned, like, I'll put the Iron Man match in there just because, not Shawn and Brett, because Shawn and Brett was fine, but I think a lot of people kind of got bored after, because you knew it was predictable that it's going to be a draw and then they're going to have to go overtime. But one of my favorite ones, Kurt Angle and Brock from SmackDown 03, was a really good one. Cena and Orton had its moments, which was fine. But I liked the Iron Man because it was just the two best wrestlers going at it.
Oh yeah, and that's a great one. Going back to TLC,
Yes.
matches for a moment, like John Cena versus Edge,
Unforgiven 06, yes, very underrated.
Like it's a shame. Like I honestly, I wouldn't have minded seeing Edge versus Cena one last time.
Same, and I think because I like the stipulation of the match of just the fact that John Cena's never done a TLC match, and he fucking lived up to expectations. It was like when him and Ric Flair had that one on Raw, and Ric Flair in his fucking 60s is fucking doing a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Yeah. Or you had Jerry Lawler versus The Miz in a ladder match.
That one was so underrated too, like Miz and Jerry. But no,
I wanted Lawler to win, and then Michael Cole
fucking screws him. Yes. No, to your point, dude, I would have loved to see John Cena and Edge one more time, but again, Edge being Edge.
I'll pay you.
I'll pay you. Come on, I love you, Edge. Come to my company. You think you know me?
I got a bad one for you.
Go ahead.
Really bad.
Really bad. Okay.
I could be wrong on the year, but I believe it's King of the Ring 1995.
Okay.
Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler.
Is this the Kiss My Foot match?
Yes, it is.
Oh, God. They tried to redo that again with him and Michael Cole in 2011 after that god-awful WrestleMania match. Then they did Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole in the Kiss My Foot match. It was horrible. But no, I'm right there with you on that. And actually, I'll take one to the announcers as well, because I will go back to this one from 2003. The coach talks about how awful this match was. JR and the coach in the infamous country whipping match, where JR hits the coach with the stunner. That was really bad.
He fell with the stunner.
I mean, he tried. It was more like he didn't even do like the Razor fucking Scott Hall thing. He just was like went back, and it was just funny. But yeah, no, they tried, but they're not wrestlers.
No.
And I know Coach has wrestled on pay-per-view against Tajiri, and he's been on pay-per-view wrestling matches, but the coach is not a wrestler, and JR's not a wrestler. So it didn't work. Oh, all right, we'll mention this one. Paul Heyman and, oh God, no, it wasn't Paul Heyman. It was Howard Finkel and Harvey Whippleman, right? The tuxedo match?
Yep.
Oh God, that was even worse. It was even fucking worse. The only other bad one I'll mention from TNA, we mentioned the reverse Battle Royal, right? Do you rank King of the Mountain up there? The reverse ladder match?
Yep.
Because it's literally, folks, you get pinned, you go in the penalty box, and then you have time to put the ladder above the ring. Instead of grabbing the ladder, you have to put the ladder up, put the belt up there for the reverse ladder match. And then WWE did the Iron Survivor thing and made it work. Like, the Iron Survivor was pretty much had the penalty box element of the King of the Mountain match, but WWE made it work. Alrighty, so go to your next one that was good.
Next one that was good, and you're going to think I'm crazy, the Boiler Room Brawl.
Mankind and The Undertaker is one of my favorite storylines. So, yes, I enjoy that match. I'm not even going to say you're crazy, because that was awesome.
The fact that, because at this point, Taker was still, not, the guy.
No, he was in the purple at the time. He was in the purple. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I say he wasn't the guy, I mean, he wasn't like the Godfather.
No, he was still, this was 96. So he had just come off the feud with Diesel, and then he went back to feuding with Mick.
And, the fact that Mick Foley, who at this time
just debuted in the WWE,
coming off of ECW and being Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
And you see him come out, you see these vignettes, which were creepy as shit.
In the boiler room.
Yep. And then you see him come out, and people are chanting Cactus Jack and ECW, EC Dub, EC Dub. They were never chanting ECW. It was EC Dub.
Oh, EC Dub, EC Dub.
And the feud that they had over the years. And Triple H has even said it. Mick is one of those guys, he can make anybody.
I mean, when you have such faith, kind of like not even like faith, or just like the fact that they know that they can do the job. Like when Mick Foley's first feud is with The Undertaker. Like, come on now.
Exactly. Like, and then you have that epic moment where Paul Bear's in the ring, and like Taker's, on one knee, and he's basically saying, give me, like, come on, like, let's be done with this. And just how hard Paul Bear cracked him with the urn.
Oh, God, that doink right off his head.
I can still hear that.
He hit him very, very hard.
And like that, you talk about, heel turns, and, we've talked about best heel turns.
Key plug number 2. Go back and watch him. It's in this last season and season 4 as well. Go ahead.
And just seeing like Paul Bear's turn, like, was just perfect.
I think what's cool about it too is Uncle Paul. Yes, Uncle Paul. I know they did another one. What was the other one? Mankind, the Big Show.
So there were a couple. There was Mankind, and I think he was in all of them actually. Like, it was Mankind versus Big Show was one.
That I remember.
I think he actually won that one.
Yeah, he won that one. Was there another one?
There was Mankind versus Triple H.
Oh, okay. Was that on like Raw, or was that a pay-per-view? I think it was on
SmackDown, I think.
One of those, yes. Okay, so that makes sense. But yeah, like the one that is the most notable is the Undertaker one. There would never be nothing better than the Undertaker.
No,
it worked.
Another one, I Quit matches.
Poor Mick and The Rock from Royal Rumble '99, which is still one of the most ones. John Cena and Randy Orton, John Cena and The Miz grew up there. There were so many good I Quit matches, man. John Cena and JBL.
Oh yeah, we talk about Mankind and or Mick Foley and The Rock. That match should have been stopped a long time before it was.
And it's still, I remember watching Beyond the Mat, and you see Colette and Mick's kids just crying. And it's just, it gets me even right here. Mick Foley, even watching it back, if you remember the movie, he like teared up. Is like, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe this happened. I didn't even know that.
And Rock has since even said, like, we went way too far.
Yeah, and he sincerely apologized. And Mick even said him and I had a little thing for a little bit, but then we got over it.
Because, like, Rock hit him
really hard. Like, boom. You want to talk about stuff I still can hear. Dude, I could still hear those chair shots.
To the point where, like, you see him, like, hit and, like, go to hit him again, and you see Mick, like, he's standing, and he just...
like, tips over, and just like this. And then he goes down on his knees, and then he's done. And it's, yeah. It's just, that's a hard match for me to go back and watch. I will say that.
I can't. I think I've seen it maybe 3 times in my entire life. And like, The Rock has even said, like, he's like, we went overboard.
Do you also equate, and we'll mention another good one, like you mentioned, I Quit, because it really solidifies a feud. Last Man Standing also ranks up there for me.
Exactly. And I will say this, those matches, be it Hell in a Cell, I Quit, Last Man Standing, Last Woman Standing, whatever, those should be blow-offs. Like,
that's what pissed me off, because they turned the Hell in a Cell into a pay-per-view. Money in the Bank, we could also rank up there as one of the great ones, because, and the only reason why, and all right, we'll do another cheap plug. If you want to hear Daniel and I talk about the best and worst Money in the Banks, go back and watch it. Cheap Pop number 3. Dude, the Money in the Bank matches were...
See what I did there?
I saw what you did there. Those matches were so good, but the thing that always got me about Money in the Bank, like, for years, that used to be just solidified as the WrestleMania match, and then they turned into the pay-per-view. Not a bad pay-per-view, but they turned every gimmick match into a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Like, and that was a Vince thing. Like, we got the TLC pay-per-view. Which, cool thing about that, well, remember, we had the one year it was tables, ladders, and chairs, and stairs.
for fucking Big Show and Eric Rowan, which was a terrible fucking match. That okay, we'll even add that to the bad one, stairs match. Who in their right mind was like, I mean, again, I'm guessing Vince, probably Vince. Who thought
Or Bruce Pritchard.
did you see fucking Unreal?
No, I
Bro,
he basically dresses down Abyss.
bro, like so CM Punk and Seth Rollins had their match on Netflix, and I think he was like, it was overproduced and it was over whatever. And I'm like, they only went off the air like a couple. First of all, it's Netflix, and number two, they only like went over like a couple minutes. It wasn't even like that bad. And then Bruce is like dressing him down, and Abyss is like, I'm sorry. And then William Regal, it's just like, it's okay, Chris, it's okay. It's
Like,
okay.
it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was good. Like, fuck him. Like, and he's like, I'm just trying to make him happy, and I wanted to be like, Abyss, fuck him, fuck Bruce. Like, stop it.
You know, it's been reported that Abyss is like the most well-liked producer backstage.
And I remember when he got hired by WWE in that role, and all the people were like, "Oh, come on, they're good." He knows the business. He's smart. He knows how to book and cycle. I mean, you could say, "Oh, he's the hardcore wrestler guy," but I'm like, he knows how to psychology and how to book a match.
I mean, personally, I would love nothing more than to see him one last time.
I agree, but I mean, it's like you have Abyss doing this, and Bruce is just dressing him down, and I'm looking at poor Abyss, and I'm like, there's nothing fucking wrong with this. Like, why are we addressing him down? Like, fuck off.
Listen here, brother love.
Listen here, brother love. Brother love.
Ah, hey, you.
But no, to go on to your point as well, like, even those matches, the blow-offs, and I mean, I look at it like this. The stuff that we got with the Money in the Bank and everything from a thing, and I mean, the stairs match, who, again, like you mentioned, Bruce or Vince, the big, and you know what pissed me off about this, as I'm even coming to like collect my thoughts here now that I'm remembering this. Eric Rowan, they just like broke up the Wyatt family, right? They made him, yeah, and they made him a babyface. He was a part of Team Raw against Team Authority, right? And then his first feud out of that is the Big Show, and you're thinking, okay, he's going to get a big win against the Big Show. No, they had the Big Show kill him in the stairs match.
Yeah. Like, never mind, you know, him and Rowan, and then him and Rowan were back together.
Back together. Him and Harper were back together in like a few months.
Yeah. And it's sad because Rowan is so incredibly talented.
I'm so happy that the Wyatt Six are the tag team champions. Do not have them lose at SummerSlam over the week. Do not have them lose those titles already.
No.
All right. So one other bad one I'll mention before I have you go, and we'll wrap up our last ones. I got to mention our boy Bray Wyatt, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, the fucking dilapidated fridge, and that friggin' oh god, that fucking match was terrible. That fucking match was terrible. You know where I'm going. Backlash 2017. Good God. And I loved the match at WrestleMania. I mean, you had the friggin' worms and shit in the ring and all that crap, and that was a very underrated feud. It had its spookiness to it. But when you're literally doing Bray Wyatt and fucking Randy Orton and what we got there and the friggin' dilapidated whatever the fuck that was, holy hell, that was bad. What the hell was the name of that match again that they had? I'm drawing a blank on the fucking name of the match. This is going to bug me now because I just remember the dilapidated fridge. The House of Horrors. There it is, the House of Horrors. That one ranks up there for me because you had something with WrestleMania. Well, first of all, did you like the 2017 Bray Wyatt? There was a story there, but the thing it's like Bray friggin' wins the title. Randy Orton wins the Rumble. Randy's like, I'm not going to challenge you, but it's like, you know, good goddamn well that he's going to wind up turning on Bray. And it was a whole thing from the start. He burned the house down. And then friggin' personally, I would have loved it. We've said this many a times. I would have loved it to have been a triple threat with Bray, Randy, and Luke Harper, but they didn't do that. I don't think Randy should have won the title, but they did.
They gave Randy the title as a thank you because the SummerSlam of the previous year,
oh god,
Brock fucked him up.
Yeah, Brock fucked him up, and then Randy
bled the hard way.
Yes, and then for what happened there, WWE's like, we're gonna give you the title and make it up for you, and make it up to you
for a month, and then you're gonna drop it to Jinder Mahal.
Fucking Jinder Mahal, god damn it! But yes, I'll rank the House of Horrors up.
And then Brock's like, yeah, Yeah, that doesn't work for me, brother. I'm not working with Jinder
That's
Mahal.
one of the funniest things ever. The fact that I remember when they announced the graphic, I'm like, Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal. And I'm like, no.
That match would have been terrible.
That match would have been fucking awful. And I'm like, no, they're not going to do it. No. And then, thank God, AJ won the title and we got Brock and AJ. But still,
because Brock was like, yeah, no.
And no, I'm not wrestling Jinder. No, thank you. But yes, I got to go House of Horrors on there as well.
The Swamp match.
Do you put that in the good or the bad ones?
The bad.
Again, I love Bray Wyatt, and I hate to do this, but yeah, that match it was the only way for this to work was him to fucking go back to being the Lamb, and then everything with the Alexa Bliss going in there, the Black Sheep. Braun took himself out. Him getting tied up by Bray, fighting in the swamp, which the only big reveal that it was going to lead to Bray going in the swamp, and then the Fiend comes out the swamp. That was literally the whole friggin' purpose of the match, was the Fiend to come out the swamp.
And then next pay-per-view, Bray wins the title, immediately gets wrecked by Roman, and
the start of the Tribal Chief.
Like, honestly, that second run of Bray's was pointless.
The one where he came back at Extreme Rules 2022?
No, the second reign, like when he won it off of Strowman and then
dropped the Fiend reign.
Yeah,
that pissed me off because remember he only held the title for what, like a month? Less than a month. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So if you remember,
the dead giveaway when you knew he wasn't winning.
At when?
So Bray and the Fiend, they had that custom Fiend title. And like when we had that triple threat match, as soon as Bray came out with that blue Universal title, I was like, yeah, he's losing it.
And he dropped it back to Roman.
Which was honestly...
It was the right call.
Yeah.
That run, like you mentioned, it was pointless, but I mean, we've talked about it. It's like the feud with Randy Orton that led to that WrestleMania match, which I don't even want to think about. I don't, because it was just so ridiculous.
Bill Goldberg.
That too. But yeah, no, that second reign was just it had its moments, but fuck. But yeah, no, I would have to definitely go with another one of my good ones, and this is actually one of the last ones that I have as far as the good side of things. We mentioned the street fights, the ladder matches, and everything in between, but one of the ones I have to go with just because it's one of my favorite tournament matches, and I'm going to put it in there. Not the Beat the Clock tournament, where it's just like they have to beat the clock, and it was one of the random-ass tournaments, but just from its pay-per-view aside, and a lot of the people that came from it, King of the Ring. I've always enjoyed the King of the Ring. I got to go with the King of the Ring tournament.
For me, because I enjoy technical and submission wrestling, give me a good submission match. You know, thinking Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13.
Steve, do you give up? Blood dripping down the face.
And then just passing out.
That was the perfect double turn. Friggin' Austin becoming a babyface, Bret becoming a heel. Do you also include, and I know we really don't talk about his name that much, but Kurt Angle and Benoit in the Ultimate Submission match from Backlash 01?
Yeah.
That goes in there too. I mean, there was so many good submission matches. Like, you're a technical guy. We love the submission matches. But yeah, those two definitely rank up there for me. Do you have any final ones as far as the good ones before we get to our final bad ones?
The Royal Rumble match.
Yes. Okay. Not these last. First of all, these last couple ones have been fine, except for the Shane McMahon one that literally got him out. Except for the Shane McMahon one, I will excuse that one. No,
when he wanted to make himself the winner.
Jesus Christ. The Royal Rumble 2022 was fucking so bad. It was so fucking bad. I think the only other one that stands out was the one that Ronda won, which I think that was the same year where she won the fucking Rumble. That one was
comes out at number 30 and wins it. Just like...
wins. I won't even say the Charlotte one was bad because it gave us Charlotte and what we got there, but the thing too is it added more elements to that, and the fact that Charlotte being with Alexa now has made her more likable.
Which, if you want to hear us talk about the best Royal Rumble winners, number 4.
Yes, go back and listen to the past seasons of Uncaged, but I'm in agreement. I even think the Vince McMahon Rumble one where him and Stone Cold was the antithesis of that match was hilarious.
Like, it was all about preventing him from winning the title.
And it was perfect. And Vince putting the Royal Rumble on himself was funny just because. Just because. And
I forfeit my rights to face you at WrestleMania.
it was so fucking good. The fucking McMahon Austin feud. Yes. Um I mean, there's been some rumbles that have been questionable, absolutely, but the concept from the countdowns to who's going to be the surprises, I think the only caveat now is because a lot of these fucking theme songs are so bad, you don't know who the fuck's music it is, and that's the bad part.
It's pretty bad when even the talent's just like, gotta hate this song.
Well, look at the fucking Judgment Day now. We about to put the pain on them. I'm like, I like the song, but it doesn't fit the Judgment Day at all. Like the Alter Bridge, Other Side fit them perfectly.
Like, maybe they wanted something different because,
Edge
Cope.
Cope. We about to put the pain on them. Like, that's the thing. That's the only caveat now is we don't know who the fuck's music it is. And a lot of the talent don't even like their fucking theme songs. They go with it. They try to make the best of it. But a lot of those theme songs now fucking suck.
Like, you can tell when the talent comes out and they're just like,
God, I gotta come out to this fucking shit.
like, I think it was Finn Balor, like, I think it was like Royal Rumble, like, came out and just like, you just see him like,
yeah, no. Oh, when they tried to do like the altered version, like an alternative version of the old Finn Balor demon theme, yeah, he's just like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I can't believe I gotta come out to this.
And like, they won't get rid of Death Rumble. They won't.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the Royal Rumble match definitely, from the match concepts and just best gimmick matches, that definitely ranks there. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to think. Like, I think we kind of nailed it, but I think we have to save the best one for last. For the best, you have the.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Dog Kennel from Hell.
There we go. Because it was both on our list, and as soon as Dan said it, I'm like, that is definitely going to be the last one we're going to talk about. So we mentioned a lot of the good, and we mentioned a lot of the bad that make up great matches to culminate feuds and culminate stories. This was not it. No. This was not it.
No.
So the Big Boss Man and Al Snow are fucking feuding, and it goes to Unforgiven. The dog is missing. Pepper's missing. Then the Big Boss Man makes Al Snow eat ground pepper. He fucking makes him eat pepper, quote unquote. And then they have this dog kennel from Hell match, which is like the Hell in a Cell, but with dogs in it. And the dogs, they're thinking like vicious dogs. They were not. They were like peeing all over the place. And they weren't even vicious dogs. They were just like, oh, come here.
They were cranked.
Yes. It wasn't vicious. They were like nice dogs. Like they were like nice dogs.
They were pets. Like, they were pets or they were given tranquilizers.
Yes.
Like, there were ones that were just like sleeping.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not going to have these dogs like bite the wrestlers. Like, no. They tried, but no. 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 It was so bad. One of the worst matches ever. I think that was one of the worst matches of 1999, and I concur. Yeah. It was so bad. They thought it would be funny because of the dog and also Big Boss Man being the Big Boss Man. But no, it didn't work.
And there is one more that I think needs an honorable mention.
Okay.
Barry Darsow, I think it was the Blacktop Bully.
Blacktop Bully
versus Dustin Runnels.
And the King of the Road match.
Which, folks, what that was, it was on a flatbed that had a cage around it, bales of hay.
And they're driving down the road. Fighting.
Yeah. And they had a match.
They
drove back to the arena.
Yes.
And it ended in the ring. Like,
look, and people say what they will. I'll make another honorable mention. The Hollywood Backlot Brawl with Goldust and Rowdy Piper. What was it bad?
Bronco.
The Bronco. The Bronco.
This was during OJ.
Yes. Was the match bad?
Yes.
It was. Yes, but for the comedy side of thing, it was good. So I rank it kind of both.
Because Dustin getting stripped down and he's wearing women's underwear.
That too. Good God. So I do have a couple final honorable mentions while we're here. So This one I will group together because I liked it. Of course, War Games was a classic, and I group them together because I liked that and Lethal Lockdown that TNA did because I added the weapons and it was cool. Those two go in there, and just because War Games and Lethal Lockdown both respectively culminated matches in both respective companies, and I have two other ones that are kind of bad before I give you your final thoughts as well. Feast or Fired in TNA because it was their version of Money. It was a great concept, but the thing too is it was good and bad because remember that one where Chavo Guerrero friggin' got fired, but he legit got fired and he like threatened to sue TNA or even was going to sue TNA because like fucking wait a minute, you're not even gonna release me properly. You're gonna release me like legitimately with the fucking Feast or Fired briefcase. Like I'm like legitimately fired. It's not like a part of the show. Like a Chavo Guerrero was so pissed.
Yeah, because it came out like the next day that like, hey, he's actually
fired.
Like,
I mean, it gave us, of course, Curryman getting fired and Christopher Daniels coming back as the Fallen Angel. Fun concept. I still remember Kevin Nash like doing this and stretching when he pinned Matt Morgan and him and Scott Hall won the TNA tag titles. That was a cool concept. It was good and bad just because for the fact of they tried to do Money in the Bank. It was cool because it was something that we've never seen before.
No.
And I'll give it actually a rare one. Really kind of out of their way for TNA. The Fans Revenge match with Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett. It was like their version of a lumberjack match, but you had fans and they would whip friggin' Jeff Jarrett or just whatever, like that stuff. Like having actual fans be around the ring. It was a concept, but also kind of was stupid. So if I had to pick like bad and good mixture there, those would be my last honorable mentions. And do you have any final honorable mentions before?
No, I think it's the Feast or Fired was I thought a really cool and I remember the Chavo thing. Like,
oh god, yeah.
If I remember right, it was actually he got to the back and they told him.
And they told him like, yeah, Chavo, you're really fired.
Just like, hey, we are letting you go.
Like we're legit. This is not a part of the storyline. Like you're legitimately gone.
It just to me is just no.
Which was so fucked up. Which was so fucked up.
And I do have one honorable mention.
Sure.
Hair versus hair matches.
Okay, I like that.
One in particular.
Okay, so for me, I'm always edging Kurt Angle.
That's the one. And
okay.
Now, there's a story that gets told that Vince goes to Kurt and says, "Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell Edge that he's losing." And Kurt said, "He's like, I told him, it's like, I don't think so, Vince. Like that's not.
I don't look good.
No. You're losing. But we're gonna tell him that he's losing."
And
so they tell him.
Yes.
And they're like, and Kurt's like, Edge is like you can tell he's like, okay.
But he's like, I won't look good bald. I don't want to lose this match.
And like I guess they let it go on like that for like a week or two.
Like, and then right before they went out.
and Kurt's like, before the show, I see Edge just sitting in the crowd, just like, his head in his hands, thinking like, what am I gonna do? And then literally we're in Gorilla, we're getting ready to go out, and Vince nods at me, and I say to Edge, I was like, hey, just so you know, you're going over tonight, you're winning.
And he's like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
And then he got kind of mad.
You motherfuckers. And then also Kurt talks a story about how he got the clippers the wrong way. Edge got the clippers and he was like literally scalping him. Oh, like, yeah. Nobody trained them how to
get that wrong accidentally or
a little payback for, hey, fucking with me. Either way, I actually like your honorable mention. Yeah. So, all right. As I'm looking at my list, Daniel Crimmins, I think we hit all of them because that was my last one too. So yeah, folks, we appreciate you because Dan and I had a lot of the same similarities, and we hope you enjoyed our best and worst and our in-betweens in this fine one. We appreciate each and every one of you. Now, Daniel, our next episode is our season 5 finale, and we have a very interesting one that we both came up with. So for our season 5 finale, before we move on to season 6, folks, season 5 finale concludes with The Impact. of the Four Horsemen. And yes, we'll touch upon all the different variations with Barry Windham, with Paul fucking Roma, with the God rest his soul, Steve Mongo McMichael. Yes, Sid. We'll talk about the one with Benoit Sting, Benoit Malenko. Yeah, there's a lot to really encompass.
Evolution.
Evolution, yes, and how the evolution sparked from that too, yes. But I'm really looking forward to that one because I think a lot of people don't realize like the different variations, but how such an established faction that led to the factions that we have now.
Oh yeah, like to me, the Four Horsemen were just class.
And it worked. We had so many different characters and variables, and I cannot wait to dive into that for the finale. So before we close this out, Daniel, for both the socials, where can we follow you? The floor is yours, my dude.
You can find me on Kicking It with the TSK. I'm not sure what we're doing next. Pundit is coming back better than ever. I've got an episode dropping actually tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You can check out us right here on Mike's YouTube channel, Cheap Hop number 5. You can check me occasionally out on Max Wrestling. You can check me out everywhere, and of course, our show, the weekly review with our good buddy, Mr. Paul Morales.
Shout out to Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. So,
Mike, where can we find you?
Links will be in the description for all of Dan's stuff, as well as the Pile Driver Pundit and all the great stuff that Dan does. The weekly review will be coming back very soon. We will have our review of both SummerSlam's Night 1 and Night 2 at the time of this recording. So you can follow me at SM Show 1 or MCL92 on the Twitter, Larkin_92 or MLarkinMB on the Instagram front, StephenMikeShow.com and LFCFights.com, as well as the S&M Network shows, which includes Uncaged, the weekly review, Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling, On the Mic with Mike, Stephen Mike, the LFC podcast, and so much more on this fine channel. Click the like button and subscribe. We appreciate everyone that really has been enjoying us. Like Dan have been doing with this with me for, goodness gracious, almost going on 1.5 years, 2 years of just awesomeness. We are 5 seasons about to close, heading into season 6. It's a fun time for the Uncaged crew here. So
we got more coming.
We have lots of ideas coming. So for Daniel Crimmins, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you so much for listening. And as always,
we'll pay you.
We'll pay you. Bill Goldberg.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
Fucking Bill Goldberg. The Kennel from Hell.
Fuck the Bill Goldberg.
Ground pepper. And we're out.